What's up, friends? My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Can't do that with a 5-inch rig. That was the 3-inch RipSqueak on the 1306s. You got to see at the very end there. I think you got to see at the end there. The only thing about the 1306s that could be a little bit better, which is really low throttle control, which makes sense. It's a 1306, so yeah, it doesn't. Well, I don't know. Micros don't have as good throttle control as 5-inch rigs, in my opinion. Maybe it's just that we've all flown 5-inch rigs more. But I'm desperate to try to find, to figure out what the right motor is for these RipSqueaks. So there's the one of them that needs a new ESC that's on the iFlight 1504s. Then there's the 1306 rig. There's the Toka 1505s. The Toka 1505s make huge power. So if you just want tons of power, it's the Toka 1505s for sure. Doesn't really make much sense, in my opinion, for a 3-inch rig to have as much power as these make. But you can just turn it down. So, I don't know. I just got to put more batteries through it. And then I even have this rig on the X-Nova 1804s, which seem like they're kind of overkill, but they let you run these T-Motor 3140 props. We're going to review the footage. So that was here in Atlanta yesterday at State Farm, a spot that we call State Farm. And I flew the 1804 rig, the 1306 rig, and the Toka 1505 rig with the jello absorbing mount and the Insta360 Go 2. And this mount, I believe, fixed the jello problems. We're going to look in a minute. So that's pretty exciting because this mount, which Matt makes, is not really all that much heavier, and it's really stout. It's really stout and sturdy. Like this moves all around, but it's not going to rip. Like all the connection points are nice and thick. So yeah, this is a totally viable mount solution for this rig, for an Insta360 Go 2. And Matt has he has this mount for the RipSqueak V1 and V2, the 250, and the 3-inch Armatan frame. So yeah, good things. Many good things. So yeah, we're gonna review some footage. My finger is jacked from Friday stream. Yeah, Friday night stream. It hurts like hell. I flew with it though. That was me flying with it. So it's not that bad. It just hurts. It was just really uncomfortable and annoying to fly, and it kept I keep moving it around, and then the cut opens back up because the cut is pretty goddamn deep, and then it starts bleeding again, and then so I had blood on my transmitter. But if you want to make the small bucks, you got to be willing to sacrifice. What's up, chat? Apache Smoke Weed Sniper was first. Kevin Sumner was next. Cody SAJRFPV Espander JT Custom Knives. Ton Habricken Dan 636 Whack FPV S Grace Frank Nicholas Dan 636 with a super chat. He says ready for more blood. Hopefully not. Thank you, Dan. T-Bird FPV says what's up. Free Lojo's in the house. Mike Hrenak. Doc, Tweet FPV is here. What's going on, Dan? How are you? If you guys aren't subscribed to Tweet FPV, go now, or I will stab you in your eyes. JT Custom Knives with a $4.99 super chat. 4 Band-Aids. I bought Band-Aids. Here's what JT Custom Knives unknowingly bought me. They don't have, you know what they didn't have were fingertip Band-Aids. I had to buy this wacky thing in order to get fingertip. This is just like a half-assed solution that Maggie and I did. One Band-Aid over the front and then another one around. But yeah, those fingertip Band-Aids that are like an hourglass shape. I couldn't find them. This is the only little pack of Band-Aids that had that fingertip shape in it. See the black one with the stripes? So yeah, I'm a fancy boy now, and I had to buy fancy boy welly handy bandies. Thanks for buying me some welly handy bandies, JT Custom Knives. Much appreciated. IDV is here. Martin Wynn. Remy Tim. Cyanide Sprat. Mike, Chris Croft, Espander, Windjumby, Darkman, Michael Blade, Mike H, Chuck King, 661, Grizz is in the house, Ricardo is here, Baskin. I think I got everybody. If I forgot you, better luck next time. If you want to talk directly to me in the chat, all you need to do is type shitballs. Oh, interesting. So I got to be careful now with which monitor what is on. What is on which is on what is on which is on what. Well, shit. At this point, I might need the shared monitor to be the left monitor. Might actually need to have two scenes. Hold on, let me fix this. For the, whoop, that ain't it. This is it. For the time being, monitor zoom is gonna be the left instead of the right. So we're gonna do that until I figure out a better way. I think I have to have two scenes though. One for left monitor, one for right monitor, since I have moved the monitors around a little bit. If you want to talk directly to me in the chat, all you gotta do is type my name, CiottiFPV. You gotta spell it right. You gotta not put a space in between. You don't have to put an @ but you can. This is my full-time job. If you'd like to see these live streams continue, I need everybody to do something. Click a thumbs up, subscribe, bell icon, all that nonsense. If you head over to CiottiFPV.com, there's a bunch of other free ways that you can support me, namely affiliate links. If you ever find yourself doing an order for anything, it doesn't matter what you're ordering, on Amazon, FPV Crate, FPV Cycle, Get FPV, and a bunch of other websites, there's affiliate links there. Hit those affiliate links before you check out, or replace your bookmarks with my affiliate link, and then every time you hit your bookmark to go to Get FPV, for example, it'll automatically do the thing in the place. There's also an Etsy store over there with some really cool stickers. Buy yourself a Christmas present and support your buddy. Bunch of random hardware on there as well. There's a Fiverr store where I want to work for you. I want to give you one-on-one flight instruction, build planning help, and tuning help. So yeah, if you want one-on-one, a distillation of 5 years of knowledge in a one-on-one setting, I can do that. It's probably going to save you more money than you pay, because there's a lot of garbage in this hobby. So don't buy garbage. Buy your gangly buddy's time. Buy your gangly buddy time. And, yeah. Don't be like me. Don't have a shelf with thousands of dollars of blown up electronics. Let me tell you which electronics blow goats, and then you'll buy the right ones, and you won't waste your time or your money. There's a T-Sting, T-Top, Boppity Boppy, Fat Lab, Bing. There's a Teespring store as well, with some t-shirts and mugs, sweatshirts. That's about it. And then there's, of course, my Patreon page, whatever. Patreon helps me out the most. It's $3 whole a month to join. That's 10 cents a day. I do about 10 hours of live stream content a week. So if that's not worth like less than $1 a week, I don't know what is. Join the Patreon. There's lots of good shit. Audio versions of the streams. You're going to get email notifications when I stream. You're going to get access to like 80 some odd videos in a super secret Patreon only YouTube playlist. Lots of good stuff going on. Join the Patreon or I'll kill you in your sleep. In the chat, JRFPV tagged me and said, "What's up?" Espander says, "How's your finger? It hurts, but I'll live." Whack FPV says, "What's going on?" T-Bird says, "What's up?" Freelojo says, "Morning, afternoon, and evening." Tweet FPV says, "What's up?" IDV says, "Hi." Chris Croft says, "I missed the last stream. What did CiottiFPV do this finger. I was taking apart the 250 frame, and the side plates are really hard to get off. And I was like pushing on the side. I was holding the frame like this. I was basically holding the frame like this, and I was pushing on a screwdriver to try to get the front camera cage taken apart, and the screwdriver slipped, and I just like mashed my fucking hand into the carbon frame, and my my index finger, the tip of my index finger has like a huge horrible gash, like right below my fingernail. Like if this is my finger, this is weird. Yeah, it's right below my fingernail, and it like runs the width of my fucking finger, and like it was deep, dude. Like I was pushing. You got to push really hard to get those camera plates off. So yeah, it's like 3 layers of skin at least deep. So yeah, it hurts like shit, but it'll be fine. Michael Blade says, "What's up?" GrizzFPV says, "Sup?" T-Bird says, "Super glue your finger together." It's actually an urban myth that super glue was designed for battlefield wounds. That is not true. It was used for that, but it was not designed for that. ImpFPV says, "You can distinguish the real pilots from kids when they have bloodstains on the radio." So true. NeekFPV says, "Yo, you coming to the whoop race Saturday?" I'm gonna try. And there's an event up I was shooting Maggie a message. I totally forgot to mention this to her. Go to FPV stuffs. Okay, cool. Maybe. My car is mighty uncomfortable right now. The valving in the front shocks, coilovers, is completely blown. So the car is basically just on springs. So it's just super uncomfortable. I don't know if 4 hours in it to get to that event is a really good idea. But we'll see. I don't know. It's there's also something that's coming apart in the suspension. There's something going on up there. The brake pads and rotors are also shot to shit. So I don't know. I might pass on that one. I went last year. It's 100% tiny whoop racing, which I really couldn't be any less into, if I'm completely honest. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe. YouTube did the thing, trying to find my place. JT Custom Knives says, "Wearing a red shirt, smart." Exactly. When I was picking out a shirt for today's stream, I was like, what shirt can I bleed all over and we won't know? This is an old school Blip Shift shirt, arguably my favorite. This is the saying of Colin Chapman, who founded Lotus Motor Company. And this is a saying that I've carried with me through cars and now into quads for sure. This saying really started to make sense to me when I got the Miata. Light cars are just better. 2,000-pound cars do everything better, and they're just so much more alive and fun and whatnot, in my opinion. So get you one. Do yourself a favor in life and buy a really lightweight car, and it just kind of redefines what a car can do and how it can connect you to the road surface and the road itself. So do it, or else. JT Custom Not, no, we got that. Chuck King says, putting HDLRC Aeolus 1303.5s on a RipSqueak V2. Too small? Probably. Those are probably a little too small. You would definitely want to get the lightweight arms, the 2-inch or the 2.5-inch arms, and yeah, I would run those on. Those motors kind of fall right in between a 2-inch prop and a 2.5-inch prop, so I would say get the 2.5-inch arms if you don't already have them. If you have to order them, I would just order the 2.5-inch and the 2-inch arms, and then you can run it on 2.5-inch props, and then you can run it on 2-inch props and see what you like better. Hopefully it's a high kV motor, because you're going to need the kV. You're going to need a lot of RPM to make enough thrust on that small of a motor for a rig that's going to end up being probably 160, 170, maybe 180 grams all up weight. Not impossible, but yeah, there's some things that you need to do to make that rig fly right, in my opinion. Frank Nicholas dropping the link to CiottiFPV.com. Thank you, dude. Steady Eddie says, just checking in to see at shitballs works. Hopefully your finger heals quickly. Thanks, dude. I don't understand what the at shitballs reference is, but I like it. Dave Penicillin says, I'm putting 2004 4000 kV motors on a RipSqueak now. Think it's too much. Dave has the opposite. The opposite situation where he's got a little bit too much motor. Although, what I would do with 2004 4000 kV motors on a RipSqueak is either get the 4-inch arms, or at the very least, hopefully it's a RipSqueak V2, because on the RipSqueak V2, with the right camera mount up front, you can actually spin, on the regular 3-inch arms, you can spin a 3.5-inch propeller. And a 2004 motor is only a tiny little bit too much motor for a 3.5-inch prop. Specifically, the Gemfan 3.5-inch props are probably a little too. They don't have quite enough pitch for that big of a motor. But the Emax Avan 3.5-inch props would probably be pretty decent on that 2004, because they've got a little bit more pitch than the Gemfan 3520. So yeah, that's what I would do, is either get the 4-inch arms or get the 3-inch arms and yeah, run a 3.5-inch prop on it. But all that being said, 2004 motor is the right size for a 4-inch propeller. So yeah, there you go. The N636 says, got my micro reverb flying great, got the filters great, filters dialed in, PID somewhat boosted, Hyperlight 1408 has zero problems with the Gemfan Hurricane 3520. Could have done it without you. I think Dan meant to say couldn't have done it without you. Either way, it's fine. If you could have done it without me, that's cool too. That just means that, you know, you picked up enough in passing that you just knew everything. CMYK FPV says, what's up? Grizz FPV says, YouTube just did the thing. Getting my Sunday rip in, trying not to blow anything up. Nice. Dan 636 says, I can do that. I can do that. Brakes for you, man. Get squeaks and shimmy. What? I can do that. I have no idea what that means, Dan. I can do that. Brakes for you, man. Get squeak and shimmy free. I've been working on my own cars for almost 20 years, so I'm good. I appreciate it though, Dan. Chuck King says, thanks, Ciotti, actually being built for me, and I ordered a 3-inch. Guess I'll have to change the motors myself. Kind of disappointing. Chuck, which motors? Chuck, you've got the smaller motors, right? Yeah, you've got the smaller motors. I mean, 1303.5 could technically be a good, like, long-range 3-inch RipSqueak, maybe. But yeah, that's kind of it. Not really. I mean, it would be an underpowered freestyle rig. So yeah, some people are okay with that. I'm not. The smallest motor that I'm willing to put on a RipSqueak is the iFlight 1505. That motor runs really good, but yeah, I wouldn't want to go any smaller than that. 1404s they're fine, but it's just not quite enough. And then you drop down to 1303.5, and now you're like really pushing the limit of, you know, sacrificing control over the propeller and just raw horsepower. So yeah, I mean, if it's being built with that and there's no way to tell the person building it to go to a better sized motor, also curious who's building that. If somebody is building that for you, they should know that's too small of a motor. I would hope. I would hope that if somebody is building rigs, that they have a good feel for the right size motors. But what the hell do I know? Chuck King, Dave says it is a V2. Had no idea it can run 3.5 inch props. Yeah, it's hard to do it, Dave. But it's definitely possible. You need the 3.5 inch props come really close to the front standoffs. So you need a camera mount that's either scalloped out like this one, or you need to just run a camera mount that sits all the way up at the top or all the way at the bottom, because the propeller, this is a 3.1 inch prop. A 3.5 inch prop is gonna like skim the standoff. So the thickness of the standoff is the max for clearance. If you have any TPU where the propeller swings, it's gonna hit that TPU. So yeah, there's that. Neek FPV says, what do you think about the OG Acrobat frame with 1507.5 motor, spinning T-motor 3140 props, all up weight 360, carrying a Loris and a Rettel, been waiting on weather to maiden? I have moved away from the Acrobat frame. The fact that it's a solid base plate and it breaks a lot, for me is just not, that's a combo that does not work with the way that I fly. 1507.5 motors are absolutely massive, but if the all-up weight is 360 grams, you might need a motor that's that big. That being said, a 7.5 millimeter tall stator is not great. That's way too tall of a stator for a micro. That's like, you can pull that off with like a 2207.5 or a 2208 or a 2207, but a 1507.5, that's a motor that's going to get way too hot. It's too much stator height and not enough stator width to get enough of the motor bell in the downdraft of the propeller to keep it cool. So what you're going to have is a rig where if you go full throttle, you're going to get a split second of full power, and then what you're going to hear is whee, because it's going to go up to full power for a split second, and then the motor is going to get really hot. And as magnets get hot, they lose their magnetism. So you're going to get full power for a split second, and then it's just going to start dumping power, and like within like probably half of a second or so on full throttle, you're going to be at about half power, because the motor is just going to get super, super, super hot. This is why, 1804s, 2004s, even like 2204s, it's the reason that the micro motors have all changed. 2 years ago, 1507s were all that we had, and they were the best that was available. But in the last year and a half or so, we've realized that overheating issue. So the motors have, instead of being tall and skinny, they've become short and fat, so that there's more stator width to put more of the metal bell in the air to cool it down. So yeah, a 1507.5 motor, I guess that's more of like a race motor where all you want is as much power as possible. So the thing about the stator height is the height of the stator does the majority of the work, because the vertical part of the windings is what pulls the magnet. So to have a motor that's really tall is actually a very efficient motor, because you're spending your stator volume on height. But the problem is, in our setting at least, they get too hot. For other applications, and like, you know, our motors are not really like specifically made for us. It's tech from the brushless motor industry, and then they write the word FPV on it, basically. So in other settings, in like settings where the motors don't get run as hard, basically, a taller stator motor can work really, really well. But for us, is, you know, one of the things that's really important for us is for the motors to not get too hot, because they lose a lot of power when they start to heat up. That size just doesn't work really well. Unless, like, I guess unless you're just gonna cruise. If you're never gonna go full throttle, you're never gonna notice that. So if it's just a rig to kind of cruise around at half throttle, but then at that point, there's no reason to carry around such a heavy motor, right? So at that point, you might as well go with a smaller motor. It's going to crash better. It's going to fly better. It's going to be even more efficient. The 3140 props are amazing. So that's going to be a great propeller on there. And yeah, I mean, that combo, as long as those motors are smooth running and they're not coggy and they're not notchy when you turn them by hand, that combo right there is the best flying micro that we had access to about 2 years ago. About 2 years ago, that combo that you've got there, Neek, was the absolute tits. In the last 2 years, there's been quite a bit of progress, but yeah, you've kind of got like an old school build. And yeah, in 2018, that was 2019, 2018, that was the shit right there. So it's not going to be bad. It's just not going to be quite as good as the newer motor and frames that we have access to. Rob Axelson says it's 9.5 finger Sunday. Chuck King says thanks a lot. I'd rather not say, but yeah, I assumed he would know what he was doing. Said he was going to go 1206. Yeah, 1206 is going to have a similar issue. Not as bad, but it's going to have similar issues to 1507s, where they just get too hot. In my opinion, a 1206 is also not the right motor size for RipSqueak. I don't know what a 1206 would be good for. Well, yeah, I mean, a 1206 would be a little bit less than these 1306s. These 1306s feel pretty good. But I wouldn't want to go any narrower than this 1306. Like, this 1306 is kind of like absolute bare minimum. I wouldn't want to go down to 1206. But what I will say is a 1206 would be better than a 1303.5, because it's got a lot more stator volume. So yeah, a 1206 would do a hell of a lot better job controlling a 3-inch propeller than a 1303.5. That's for sure. But it's still not quite the right motor. Kevin Sumner says, what do you think about the FPV cycle 16mm on a RipSqueak versus your other standard options? From what I've been told, the FPV cycle 16mm motors are very, very notchy. Apparently it says it on the website. That's the wrong screen. Let me take a quick look. I've been meaning to actually look this up. Yeah, if those 16mm motors are notchy, then they're bad. And that's why I haven't really talked about them, is because I've been told that they're notchy. I'm also kind of weirded out by this 3mm shaft thing. Most of the good propellers are T-mount. So even though there is the M5 adapter, there just aren't many M5 propellers that are all that great. There are the 3140s, but they're a pretty heavy prop. There we go. This motor is very powerful and notchy. So yeah, I'm not really interested in it if it's notchy, because I like my rigs to have really locked in PID tunes, and I run HD cams on all my rigs, and those things do not go together. So not the end of the world though. Wait a second. Do I have a? Oh, cool. Oh, it goes to desktop. It kills the mic when I go to that other one. Well, I can make this work. Hold on. Zoom mic quiet. Just turn that on, and now we're good to go. Turn off desktop audio. Cool. So now I have keystrokes for each monitor. Okay, that works. What's this? What's F17? Ah, I didn't know I set that up. Oh, I don't have my big dumb face on this one though. Let's see. Left monitor. Put it above. Shrink it down. And okay. Okay. Wait. No, hold shift. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Alright, this works. Oh wait, no. I don't want the other monitor on here. What am I doing? I want the yeah, that's the shit. Okay, I'll put it on the left. And oh, wide boy, tall boy. It's the little things. Okay. Nope, still too big. That's what she said. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's almost perfect. And then, what's it called? Gear fund. I gotta add text and add existing gear fund. Look at this guy. Look at your boy learning how to use the computer. Are you guys proud of me? No? All right, that's fine. All right, how closely do these two scenes match each other? Oh my God, that's pretty good. Wow. You almost can't tell. Wow. Look at me go. I've got a big donkey. GrizzFPV says, just snapped the bottom plate on my RipSqueak. Where did it break, Grizz? Sent you a pic on Instagram. Cool. Nope. Let me not show that. Oh, come on. God forbid there's something weird. All right, let's see what Grizz sent. Oh. 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 I don't love that. Wow, okay. Yeah, so there is a straight line there. I mean, that is a... How big of a hit was that, Grizz? I mean, this is an okay amount of carbon. I wouldn't... I'm kind of surprised by that. This is a good chunk of carbon here and here. Hopefully that was a big hit. That's an interesting place for it to let go. Ooh, scary. Scary. Graham P says, it's my birthday, loving your stream. Happy birthday, Graham. How are you? How old are you? 21? Go get drunk! E-Drone with a $5 super chat. He says, awesome stream, Ciotti. See you tonight if you're still available. I am indeed. I'm going to be on E-Drone's live stream tonight at 6? 7? 8? Let me see. Nope, that's the wrong thing. Calendar. Nope, not booster shot. 8 tonight at 8 Eastern. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. You guys should come over. Edrone, drop a link. I'm gonna make you a moderator real quick. All right, Edrone, you're a moderator. Drop a link, and then I'm gonna unmoderate you because I already have too many. Jory FPV says going to be building analog Cinesplorer with the FPV cycle motors. Any build tips? Jory, I've done many Cinesplorer builds here and repairs on the live stream. So just go to my main channel and then hit videos so it displays all the videos. Well, here, I'll show you. So if you come in here and you go to the channel and then you go to videos here, there's the little search. And if you search for Cinesplorer, you're gonna find lots and lots and lots of Cinesplorer content. Builds, repairs, ESC swaps, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, lots of build tips in there. It's a pretty easy build though. I mean, there's really nothing that I don't think there's anything that's gonna throw you for a loop. But yeah, it's a great frame. It's the best of the Cinewhoop frames in my opinion. Grizz FPV says it was a tree half throttle. Not a great sign. I don't like that. What's interesting, recently I've realized that the V1 RipSqueak frame, which you can still get, is better for these RunCam hybrid builds because of the top plate, because of the cut in the top plate here. The camera fits the RunCam hybrid fits really well, and you can run 28 millimeter standoffs on this build with it. Whereas when you do that build in the V2 frame, there's much less of a cutout on the top plate. See that? See, it's much less of a cutout there. So you actually have to run 30 millimeter standoffs to properly clear the RunCam hybrid on this build. So what I'm probably going to be doing is moving. Oh, cool. So this is the 1504 RunCam hybrid build, which is already in a V1 frame. So I'm going to leave this in the V1 frame. This is the 1306 RunCam hybrid V1 build. So this is also going to stay in the V1 frame. This is the non-RunCam hybrid Insta360 Go carrying build, which is in a V2 frame. So this is going to stay in a V2 frame because it works totally fine for without a RunCam hybrid. And then this build here with the 1804s with the RunCam hybrid in the V2 frame, this is actually going to get pulled back over to a V1 frame. Yeah, it fits quite a bit better. And there's just kind of no... I mean, the RunCam hybrid builds are much lighter than the Insta360 Go carrying builds. So... And the main advantage of the V2 frame is the ability to run 3.5-inch props. So it kind of makes sense that the lighter weight builds can be on the V1 RipSqueak frame that doesn't clear 3.5-inch propellers. So yeah, it's totally fine. And BQE still sells the V1 frame. Hopefully they'll continue to sell the V1 frame. Because yeah, these RipSqueaks with RunCam hybrids are really fucking gnarly. I mean, that's what you guys were watching at the beginning of the stream. We're gonna look at a little bit more flight footage in a minute here with this with these setups, and then we're also gonna look at Insta360 Go 2 footage. As I said earlier, this mount has fixed the jello issue with the Insta360 Go 2. So Yeah, as soon as I get caught up on the chat, which looks like I actually might already be, we're going to take a look at some footage. E-Drone dropping the link. Very cool. I'm going to remove you as a moderator. Christopher Dilks is in the house. What's up, brother? How are you? All right, cool. We're good. Yeah, let's look at some footage. So the beginning of the stream, you guys saw the RunCam hybrid footage from the 1306 rig. So if you want to see that again, you can just rewind. Well, no, here, I'll play it. I'll play it. Because I wasn't playing it full screen either. So let's get it going here. Where are we at? Here we are. And I can also kind of like talk over it a little bit. So yeah, like I said earlier, this is a spot we call State Farm here, one of the more well-known spots in Atlanta. What can I say about this? It really, I mean, I've done a ton of sort of like development, I guess you could say, on this combo, and it's in a really good place. Like these RipSqueak rigs are in a place where they seem to be fairly durable. The tunes are my standard, kind of like a little bit up from stock, and on a 4S850 the runtime is wild, and you can just absolutely stand on the throttle and you don't really get any sag. The biggest adjustment is just that it's a 3-inch rig, and it just doesn't carry as much momentum as a big fat 5-inch rig. I landed here for a while because I was getting, for whatever reason, the VTX on this rig is stuck on 25 milliwatts, and the 5-inch rigs that were up in the air were just murdering me on video. So I just sat it down on the ground and waited for those guys to stop flying, basically. So yeah, I'm gonna put a little bit more D-gain into these. They do have a little bit of prop wash, but that should clean that right up. I mean, as you can see, it's a full-blown freestyle rig. Like, it absolutely moves around completely fine. A lot of confidence in it. It doesn't cover ground because it's not a big, heavy rig with big-ass, you know, powerful propellers. That's a part of the game with small rigs. When you're flying them, like, you know, I was kind of holding back, waiting for Adam to go get his rig. Oh, no, actually, that's Steel. Yeah, I mean, it's micro life, right? It's specifically meant for smaller spots. This location right here is kind of a perfect example of a spot where, like, it doesn't really make sense to fly 5-inch rigs. Like, everything is really tight here, and a 3-inch rig is just, like, cheating in a spot like this. That being said, we're not really as used to 3-inch rigs as we are 5-inch rigs, so it's kind of not cheating. Like, I could pretty much do all this stuff and potentially more with a 5-inch just because I'm more used to it. But if I put 100 batteries into this rig at this, you know, and then flew this spot, I would be able to do shit that I couldn't do with 5-inch rigs just because it's so much smaller and lighter and more accurate. So yeah, I mean, this is why we suffer through building micros. Spots like this, yeah, I mean, just having less weight and less momentum allows you to really cheat and really come close to stuff without the momentum that can potentially kind of like drag you into it. So yeah, again, this is the 1306 rig. These are RCX 1306s, 4000 kV on a 4S850. The only spot to buy these motors from is MyRC Mart. They are overseas. It will take a few weeks for them to arrive. For the $10 shipping option, if you do the $25 shipping option, you'll get them in a couple days. The motors are really inexpensive. They're like $9 a motor or $11 a motor or something. They're really cheap. the cheapness of the motors makes up for what you're going to pay in shipping. And they're great motors. They're 9x9 mount base. They make really good power. They make basically the same exact power as the iFlight 1504s. They're a very smooth running motor, and yeah, I really like them. I really like the RCX 1306s. They perform way better than I think that they should, to be quite honest. Because that's, 1306 is a motor size that is too tall. It is a motor that's going to overheat. So that's really kind of, that's the problem with the RCX 1306s, is that they have more of a potential to overheat. But they make enough power where I'm only ever I haven't noticed it before, because I'm only ever doing a throttle stab. I never sit them at full throttle, because they make so much power that if you sat it at full throttle, it would be in the next goddamn zip code pretty quickly. So yeah, they're a really good option, and they're 9x9 mount base, which is awesome. What I think 1306 actually is a little bit more stator volume than 1504, and the iFlight 1504 is the other 9x9 mount base motor. And the reason why 9x9 mount base matters is because it allows you to run these GEP RC prop guards, which are brilliant. So if you want to build a RipSqueak where you can use prop guards, it's got to be on a 9x9 motor. And what I'll say is the RCX 1306s are the most power that you're going to get from a 9x9 mount motor. And they fly great, as you guys just saw, and they're durable as hell. I don't know what my RCX does, but these motors are real durable. So, yeah. You can also get them in 6,000 kV, which is really interesting, because if you got these 1306s in 6,000 kV and ran them on 4S, you could put that on like a 2.5 inch or maybe even a 2-inch propeller and still make big power. And then you could run, if you did it on a 2-inch propeller, you could run the 2-inch version of these prop guards, and you would have something that's really durable. You could really bang the shit out of that thing. I don't know. I haven't done it. I have plans to do it, but I haven't done it yet. So I don't know if it would actually make enough thrust on a 2-inch propeller. I've never spun a 2-inch propeller with that much RPM before. So that you'd be in the land of the unknown. Or you could just get the 1306 6000s and turn it down a little bit. Kevin Sumner, thank you. 1306 is 12% more stator volume than 1504. So yeah, if you want the most powerful 9x9 mount base, it's got to be these RCX 1306s. I would say get them in 6,000 kV, and then if you run them on a 3-inch prop on 4S, you're just going to motor limit them down. But that's all that kV 6,000 is going to give you the option to run them on 3S. You could do like a 3S 1000 mAh battery, or maybe even like a 3S 850. That would be a nice setup. If you're already like invested in 3S and you don't want to go to 4S, the RCX 1306 6000 kV is the answer, full stop. So that's the 1306 rig. Now we're going to look at the 1804 rig, which previously had a jello problem. I think it was because the RemCam hybrid was smashed in between the top and the bottom plates on 28mm standoffs. I now have it on 30mm standoffs for what we're about to watch, and hopefully the jello issue is gone. If there is still a jello problem, it's because these 1804 X-Nova motors are fucking beat. I've had these motors on rigs for like the last 3 years, and I have absolutely obliterated them. Somehow, I have not had any jello problems with them. But yeah, they're worked. Like 2 of them are real bad. I had those on the Acrobrat when I broke like all 5 or 6 or 7 of the base plates with it. Like those motors. These X-Nova 1804s are beautiful motors. They're just hysterically durable. So let's have a look if the jello issues are solved. Or let's not look at anything, because the last two files on here are only 8 megabytes, which means that there's another problem going on with that thing. Why the hell is it doing that? Oh my god, why?
Get you ready for
Blah 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 blah. Well, oh yeah, well, so that's all I got.
Get you ready for
Get you ready for and that's all I got. Great. Okay, so I've got to figure out why that's happening now, which is just torture. God damn it. Balls. Oh, come on, really? Oh, you dirty bastard, you. Why was it sitting recording on the couch? Oh man, my computer is about to have a crisis. I can feel it. It's about to be crisis time. What's happening? There's 48 gigs left on the card, so the card didn't fill up. What the hell? Oh god, AIDS! Okay. Let's do this. Let me move these to the trash and put this memory card back in it. And let's see if it records more than 4 seconds. Samsung 64. I mean, of course it will, you know, now that I'm not about to fly a really interesting spot. Of course now it's gonna behave. But maybe it won't. God damn it. The RunCam Hybrid does that sometimes. It just stops recording. I can't believe I didn't... Pisses me off that I didn't notice it. That was kind of dumb. Alright, so we're powered on. Blue light is solid. Now the blue light's blinking, so now it's recording. Let's see how long it records for. Well, shit, I'll just leave it there. I'll just leave it like that. And, yeah. See what happens. Prop it up like this so that you guys can see the blue flashing light. Okay. So, hi guys. Hi. Can you guys see the blue flashing light? Nah, here, I'll make it bigger. Wait, can you see it? Oh, you can see it flashing. Right above the word fund, we can see it flashing. So let's see how long it goes for. I think it just stopped. Nope, still going. It's fine now. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to show you guys, and then I'll get caught up on chat, is the Insta360 Go footage from the Toka 1505 build. And I've actually already looked at this. That other footage I hadn't looked at until just now. Hey, now it's solid blue. So yeah, it's having some sort of a problem. It did not record for very long. That sucks donkey balls. So let's try this. The first troubleshoot is always to try a different memory card. Maybe this memory card is on its way out. It is a U3 card though, so it should be I don't know, put word here that makes sense. It should be fine. There's a word. Let's try this 32 gig card. And just gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna put power to it and just let it sit. Put it over here. And let's see if it starts auto recording. See, that's weird. Sometimes it doesn't start auto recording. You have to push the button. I don't really understand. Well, now it won't record at all, unless I'm hitting the wrong button. I've now hit both buttons, and it refuses to start recording. So it really doesn't like this card. Alright. Well, plot thickens. The plot is my nickname for my dick. Get it? Because it thickened. Hey! HousekeepingFPV is joining the Torture Club. To gain entry into the Torture Club, one of the first things you have to do is direct solder 0802 motors. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Okay, so we're gonna try. I'm gonna try the a known good memory card. This is the memory card that was in the other rig that recorded just fine, and it's already starting to flash. So I'm just gonna leave it over there. We're gonna see how long it flashes. You can see the. You can see it kind of flashing there. I'll put it right above. Wait, no. What am I doing? All I have to do is this. And you guys can see it. There, you can see it. All right. Yeah, right there. It's flashing right bottom and to the right of the BQE logo. Oh my god, I sort of... Why do I have to do two-factor authentication every fucking time I log into iCloud? Why? Why? I've told you 7,000 times to trust this computer, you shitbird. Okay. Waiting for iCloud to work. Here we go. So we're gonna go to Photos, and I think, so I've already run this through Insta360 Go. Come on now, really? Oh, there it is, there it is, there it is. Okay. So yeah, here's the Toka 1505 rig with the Insta360 Go and all stability stuff turned off. So don't pay no attention to the quality. The quality is going to look like asshole. What we're looking for is jello. The quality from this camera is better than the Runcam Hybrid when it's at full quality, but this is playing off iCloud, so it's just mangling the quality. And we're also kind of looking at like flight dynamics here. What I can tell you is that I mean, it's got more power. It's got more power than the other two rigs, but other than that, it flies pretty much the same. So there's a little bit of jello right now. Little bit of jello. This rig has been on for 2 minutes. Oh, what's it doing? Why is it flashing quick now? Does that mean it's done? I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm confused. But yeah. So this is damn good. This is a much more expensive rig, though. This is a way more expensive rig. All right, so let me get that at a full screen. And so here's the other one. This right here, what I'm about to show you, is, I believe, the reason to buy and build an Insta360 Go 2, because this is what you can't really do with the RunCam Hybrid, because you can't mount the RunCam Hybrid sideways. And the Insta360 Go 2 has a 360, the shutter is 1x1. So in post, so you just hit it, you let it record, and it's recording a square. And then in post, you can pick 9x16 or 16x9. We were just watching 16x9. Now we're gonna watch 9x16, the beginning of that battery. That's cool because that is the direction that social media is going. Social media is going this direction, 9x16. So with a RunCam Hybrid, if I were to crop it to 9x16 like this, the field of view would be dog shit because the sensor is 16x9. So I would be cropping out the whole outsides of the sensor. Whereas with the Insta360 Go 2, it's a square sensor. So this is actually still 150 field of view, which is the same as 16x9. So yeah, if you're gonna post a lot of like Instagram reels or just post a lot of stuff on social media, the Insta360 Go 2 is a really good idea. It's a much more expensive camera than a RunCam Hybrid, but you can get physical damage protection on it through Best Buy. So that's kind of a big deal because then you can just batter the living hell out of it, and every time it breaks, just return it. And they'll give you another one for like 30-something bucks. Yeah, wow. This is like... Usually when you watch these when you watch flight footage in 9x16, it's pretty much unwatchable. But to me, this is watchable. Again, because we have that, it's still 150 field of view. We've got a really nice field of view. None of the other cameras do that unless you mount the damn thing sideways. And I mean, there are some mounts to mount GoPros sideways, but you're not gonna do that shit with a GoPro. Unless you are, then whatever. But this is pretty fucking cool, man. This is, yeah, this rig is gonna get... I'm actually gonna build another one of these V2 rigs set up to carry the Insta360 Go 2 because this is great for Instagram Reels, man. This is like really, really cool for that. And Instagram Reels get a lot of attention right now. Just back it right into that tree. Just get it right in there. So, yeah, there you go. God damn it! I wish I had footage from this rig. What the hell's going on with the? Why is it not continuing to record? That's not a good sign. That's a potential sign that the DVR board is kind of jacked up, and it's maybe overheating. Maybe this memory card just filled up though. It recorded for a while with this memory card. Let me put this memory card into the computer, and we'll see if maybe it just yeah, ran out of storage space. So let me do that real quick. Hopefully it did, because it was in there recording for a few minutes at least, right? Maybe not a few minutes, maybe a minute, but that's better than it was a minute ago. Mount, come on, mount, mount. It wasn't in all the way. Hey, Gray 16. All right, let's see what's on here. DCIM, GoPro, RunCam. 262 megabytes available. The memory card filled up. Awesome. And it recorded a 1.05 gig file that was 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So the RunCam Hybrid does not like this Samsung 64 gig memory card for some reason. So what I'll do is I'll pull all the footage off this memory card that it doesn't like, and I will format this memory card in the Runcam Hybrid, and then I bet you it'll be cool with it again. What I typically, you're supposed to format these memory cards like pretty much every time you fly, but I don't, because it takes 5 seconds to do it, and I'm a lazy man. So yeah, this memory card has had files like removed off of it and the trash can emptied on the computer over and over and over again, and sometimes that makes the cards get kind of cranky. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this card right here to remind myself, and I'm gonna format it inside the camera once I've pulled. I would do it right now, but there's a bunch of footage on this card that I need to pull off before I format. So yeah, let me get caught up on the chat here. Oh, wow, I'm way behind. Okay. Thanks for the patience, friends. Thanks again, Edron, for the $5 super chat. Much appreciated. Remy Tim says, "Oh my God, you know Mr. Steve? Can I get your autograph?" You can. I'll sign anything you guys want. Chomper FPV says, "I could do a whole, I could do a whole lot more if I had 5 inches." It's how you use it. J-Drone says, "You're absolutely right about that being a 3-inch spot with all the tight lines." That's what she said. Rob Axelson said, "I took apart a 2-inch Atomic RC quad. It sucks for power and flight time. By the way, it's loud as fuck." Yeah, 2-inch is rough, man. 2-inch, it's just not enough. It's just not enough length or girth. 2-inch propellers are just not. They're just not efficient. And yeah, the tips of the blades are just too close together. But man, it makes a really small rig. I don't know. I think 2-inch is the right size for carrying an Insta360 Go 2 in a Cinewhoop kind of scenario. But I don't know of any 2-inch frames that are really like light enough to do that. Most of those frames, you end up with a rig that's over 100 grams. And at that point, you might as well just build a RipSqueak. So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure the 2-inch thing out. It will happen. Demenis says, "I bought the 4-inch arms for my RipSqueak. I'm in full experimental mode. Gonna try 2203.5 motors on it with a 4-cell. Those motors will turn the shit out of those 4-inch props. Yeah, you're gonna have a little bit too much motor, little bit, but the more pitchy 4-inch props, you're actually gonna be fine, I think. The problem that you're gonna have, Demenis, is those arms are gonna break. That is a heavy motor, and that is a long, skinny arm. When the arms break, it's going to potentially save the motor from blowing up, so that's good, because the arms are a lot cheaper and easier to replace. But I think that those arms are going to... I think you might get a little frustrated with those arms breaking if you crash a lot. If you don't crash a lot, you're going to be totally fine. Euro FPV says, "So would you recommend the RipSqueak over the Acrobrat frame?" Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. I know they're supposed to release a HD RipSqueak version. Yeah, the Acrobrat frame was the best that we had 2-3 years ago, but it's things have moved on. The RipSqueak frame is way lighter, way easier to work on. It's got removable arms. The only real use, I think, at this point for in 2021 for the Acrobrat frame is if you're building like a cinematic 3-inch rig. If all you can, because it's got the clean dirty setup. So yeah, if your goal is to build a 3-inch rig to carry like an Insta360 Go, that's the reason to buy the Acrobrat. Wait, no. Now that we have this mount, it kind of doesn't matter. But if you're looking to build an Insta360 Go 2 cinematic rig, and you're not going to crash it, the Acrobrat frame is good because it has the clean dirty system, so it's going to isolate the Insta360 Go 2 from the vibrations of the motors and the propellers. You're not going to crash it a lot, so the fact that it's a solid base plate and it's a base plate that does break more often than I would like it to, that's not going to matter as much because, right, you're not crashing it. So yeah, I think that's the proper use. Or, I mean, it could carry a naked GoPro. You could probably even build it to carry... No, it'll definitely carry a full-size session, or... You know what it would do? It would carry the DJI Action 2 around, that's for sure. But yeah, the Acrobrat, the way to think about the Acrobrat is it's a cinematic frame. If you're desperate to build a 3-inch cinematic rig without prop guards, so we're talking like a high-speed 3-inch rig, that would be a good use for the Acrobrat frame. All that being said, this is a lot lighter, removable arms, and with this mount, there's no jello, as we just saw. So it's a tough sell. It's tough for me to think of a specific reason or scenario or whatever to get the Acrobrat frame over the RipSqueak. If I thought long and hard enough about it, I'm sure that I could. Or just get the RipSqueak. IDV says, I'm in a bit of a dilemma. I would like an HD camera for my drones. Do I buy a GoPro for my 5-inch rig, or do I get the Caddx Peanut for my micros and 5-inch? I don't have the money for both. IDV, you're actually maybe in a scenario where the DJI Action camera, the DJI Action 2 is a good fit. The problem is it's really expensive. It's a $400 camera. But I think your scenario is the exact case for that DJI Action 2 camera. I mean, I guess the big question is so for me, I just didn't carry HD cameras on my micros for a long time because the micro rigs were just for stick time. They were just meant to be bashers, simple as possible, as light as possible, as quiet as possible. And so yeah, I just flew them FPV. If I wanted footage from them, I would DVR it. So yeah, I don't know. Do you have to carry HD? Ask yourself, do I have to carry HD on my micros, right? Because a GoPro is going to be a way better camera on your 5-inch rig. And the footage, you know, like the HD footage that I just showed you guys from these micros is cool, but like 5-inch HD footage is way cooler because it's way faster, it's way more dynamic, it's so yeah, I don't know. The Insta360 Go 2 or the Caddx Peanut on a 5-inch rig is kind of silly, and I think you're gonna run into durability problems with it, especially on the 5-inch rig. You are gonna fucking grenade some Go 2s and Caddx Peanuts. So if you're gonna put that Caddx Peanut on a 5-inch rig, make damn sure that you're able to buy the Caddx Peanut from somewhere that offers physical damage protection. I have not seen the Caddx Peanut available anywhere that offers that, which is the main reason, which would have been the main reason that I would choose a Go 2 instead of it, because you can get the Insta360 Go 2 on Best Buy's website and get the Geek Squad protection on it. So yeah, there's a bunch for you to chew on. I have a feeling that's enough for you to maybe make a decision. Frank Nicholas says, when YouTube starts pushing going 916, I'll stop watching. I don't give a shit about social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. Yeah, the 916 is kind of shit, but, you know, it's better than nothing. JT Custom Knives says, "What about the peanut? I wish Best Buy had them." Yeah, if we were able to get the Caddx peanut with physical damage protection, although at the same time the go-to is like fine. I don't really. There's really nothing about the peanut that makes me like, ooh. Like there's a couple little things that, but I'm not gonna use the. Yeah, the go-to is. Yeah, the battery in the go-to is completely fine. The amount of storage it has is great. I don't know. When the peanut came out and I watched a couple of the reviews, like the different features, I was like, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. There wasn't a single thing that it was like, oh, that's great. That's a game changer. That I need that. You know, it was just like, oh, that's interesting. I don't know. It has a bigger, the case, the physical body is bigger than the go-to, and maybe what that means is they put some vibration damping in there or something in there to make it more durable, possibly, but I don't know how we would ever figure that out. I mean, somebody would have to buy one of each and just fly the shit out of each of them and see which one blows up first and then replace them and do it again and then replace them and do it, right? Like there would have to be like hundreds of batteries flown through the two, or at least there would have to be like hundreds of crashes between the two of them and then a bunch of returns, right? Because it's like, oh, the Caddx peanut broke, it must be the shittier one. No, there's a good chance that you just hit it perfectly wrong, right? Or perfectly right. So that'd be really, really, really hard to... And if Caddx had done that, I feel like they would have talked about that, right? Like, in the specs would have been specifically designed to be more durable than the Go-To, because they're going to need all the help they can get selling that over the Go-To, right? So, like, if they'd done something to make it more durable, I hope that they would talk about that, and I haven't seen that. So, yeah, it's tough. It's a tough decision. Mr. Huggy says, Insta360 Go, now do an FPV mount and a power adapter for the Insta360 Go 2. I guess, yeah, I mean, I just don't need it. I don't see any real point to the power adapter. Other than, like, it would be nice to have, God forbid you forget to charge it. I guess it would be nice to have for that, but I don't know. If you leave the house without a charged HD camera, that's on you. You know, you make that mistake once and then you never make that mistake again. Michael Blade says, where'd you get that Go-To mount? From Matt. The mount is not finished yet, so it's not available yet, but it will be available on Matt's Etsy store once we finish this, a couple last little tweaks. As the mount is right now, the screws here are obscured by the top of the mount, so it's like almost impossible to mount the damn thing. And this part of the TPU here is too far forward, and there's a bunch of TPU in the FPV camera view. So the mount just needs a little bit more love. Matt's been working with me for the better part of the last month on these mounts to get them dialed in for the RipSqueak frames, and we're close, so it'll be available soon. Athix says you can have 2 to 3 frames for the expletive one and replace broken parts. CiottiFPV has 5 glides that stay constant. Yeah, one of the if you're looking to get better as a pilot, one of the most important things to do is just stop testing. Just settle on a flight controller, an ESC, a frame, a motor, a propeller, everything. Settle on a setup and build that setup over and over and over and over again. So that when you go out to fly, you've got 2 or 3 of the same exact rig. You put the first one up in the air and you fly it hard as shit. When you fly hard, you push yourself, and then you're gonna wreck it. And then you take it, you put it in the back of the car, you grab the next one, you put that one up in the air, you fly more, you fly hard because you have another one, and you get better because you're flying hard, because you're not babying the rig. You're also not now flying a rig that's different. You're not now having to change your muscle memory and adjust to a different rig. You'll spend 2 or 3 or 4 batteries adjusting to a different rig. And then, I mean, unless you've got like 20 or 30 batteries, you're going home at that point, right? And it just doesn't make sense to do it anyway, right? Like, it really, the best thing you can do is stop flying different stuff and just fly the same thing over and over and over and over again. And then when you get home and you've got 2 or 3 blown up rigs, they're all on the same gear, so you can cannibalize them if you need to. If you have no replacement parts, you can just cannibalize those 2 rigs to get 1 or 2 working rigs again. Or, my favorite thing to do is you keep, since you've chosen a flight controller and an ESC and a receiver and a VTX and all these things, all you have to have is 1 set of replacement parts. And then you take your 3 rigs and you can probably get all 3 of them back up in the air, and then you go on whatever your favorite website is and you order the replacement parts, and that way you have this rolling, you know, way of having 2 or 3 rigs up in the air all the time. So every single opportunity you have to fly, you go out with 2 or 3 identical rigs and you beat the shit out of them, and that is what will make you a better pilot. I can definitely help you out with that process through Fiverr, through the online flight coaching, flight instruction, but going out with identical rigs is arguably the best thing that you can do in terms of getting better as a pilot, because you're going to be able to push yourself, and when you push yourself, that's when you learn. IDV says not buying that DJI camera, it's too expensive for the image quality. Yeah, fair enough. I think I agree with you, although the weight is really interesting. Yeah, it's a really interesting weight. I don't know. It's if I were to do it all over again, I might actually get that camera, because the image quality is good. It's better than the Insta360 Go 2. It's as good, if not better, than a Session 5, and I fly Session 5's freestyle. All of my freestyle footage you guys have ever seen that's on a 5-inch rig has been on a Session 5, and it looks great. So, in my opinion at least, it looks good enough. It's easy to say, like, oh, if I'm going to spend $400, I want better quality. But why? Right? Like, in my opinion, the reason to get a GoPro is if you're getting hired to do professional work. If you're building like a simple gear setup with a micro and a 5-inch rig, you're probably not doing, you're probably not being hired to shoot music videos. Yeah, I mean, like actual paid work, I think, is the only real reason at this point to get a GoPro, other than a Session. The reason to get a Session 5 is because they're fucking bomb-proof. So, yeah, I don't know. That Action 2, I'm pretty... Mainly the weight. Mainly the weight is the thing that kind of blows me away the most about it. And it is better quality than the Insta360 Go 2. It's quite a bit heavier, but it is better quality. It gives you the option of doing 120 frames a second. There's a bunch of stuff that it does that the Insta360 Go 2 does not do. And that's what you're paying the extra $100 for, realistically. And yeah, my opinion on the image quality is that it's good enough. That is a completely subjective thing. For somebody that's been flying Hero 8s for a while, maybe the image quality won't be good enough. But I just don't live in a world where if I put an edit up that was shot on a Session 5 or an Action 2, and that people are gonna turn it on and go, ugh, the quality's too bad, I can't even watch this. You know what I mean? I don't think that's a thing. And anybody who does that can go to hell. Yeah, I don't think that's but that's where, if you're going to shoot a working gig, the problem with working gigs is, unless the whole edit is going to be filmed from the drone, which pretty much never happens. Does happen every once in a while, but typically not. You're having to match footage. The static cameras that they're going to be using are going to be DSLRs with big old sensors, DSLRs, Reds, ARRIs, large format, medium format, or DSLR size sensors, and GoPro is as close as we can possibly get to that. So in that scenario, it's really important, in my opinion, to have a Hero 8 or a Hero 10. For freestyle flight footage, who gives a shit? We're gonna send this fucking thing 100 miles an hour through a gap or down the side of a building. Like, what we're filming is exciting enough where the quality doesn't really matter. This is like the dirty secret of photography. High-end photography, I don't know if I can say high-end, but like photography and videography, is that if the thing that you're pointing the camera at is interesting enough and or well lit enough, the quality of the camera doesn't mean shit. Nobody will notice. Oh, there's nobody's gonna notice. And flying freestyle is about the most exciting thing that you can point a camera at, or way you guys know what I mean. So yeah, the quality of the camera kind of goes out the window, in my experience. And that's something that like really famous photographers and videographers know and use to their advantage. You'll notice that typically the really high-end people in those industries don't like go nuts and like spend a ton of time obsessing over gear and getting the you know, like, I guess a lot of times now they just get sent all the newest best shit anyway, but for the most part, yeah, you don't see those guys like wasting all their time being insane and trying to get like this setup that's absolutely pixel perfect. It tends to be like the newer guys in those worlds that spend all their time looking at tech specs and pixel peeping and shit like that. So yeah, you can do a lot with a little. That's kind of the dirty secret, especially of photography. You can get really cheap speed lights and really cheap DSLR bodies and produce images that nobody's going to be able to tell. You're going to be able to produce images that when people look at, they go, a lot of the normies go, wow, you must have a really expensive camera. And you can go, well, no, it was my camera was $100 on Craigslist. Oh, you must have really expensive lights. No, they were $60 each on Craigslist. Yeah. What you're pointing it at is way more important than the quality of the camera itself. And if you talk to anybody that's been in shooting stills or video for long enough, they'll have come to that sort of realization. It took me a long time to come to that realization. It probably took me 5 or 6 years in photography to kind of realize that. I spent tons of time, I wasted tons of time obsessing over tech specs and just watching reviews, reading reviews, about, you know, which lens was ever so slightly better in the top right quadrant. And I would be a way better photographer if I'd spent that time reading about and researching posing and lighting and any number of other things that are not, the quality that the camera will produce. You need to know it a little bit, and it does help to learn those tech specs and shit. So it wasn't actually wasted time, but yeah, still wasted time. I'm getting behind on chat because I'm getting all nerdy about shooting stills. I shot stills for about 15 or so years, just for funsies, but I got pretty good. I got really good when I started to learn lighting, which is a perfect example. Like, I probably spent 10 years shooting stills on DSLRs, and like, if this is the progression of like me getting better as a photographer, when I started, so this is like 10 years of just shooting natural light, obsessing over the tech specs, and then when I started to learn lighting, to light the subject better, it was like this. Like, my images got so much better immediately because I was focused on the thing that I'm shooting rather than the thing that I'm shooting with. Michael Blade says, where'd you get that go-to mount from? Guy by the name of Matt. The mount's not done yet. When it's done, I'll let you guys know so you can get your own. Athix says, wait a second. I scrolled up too far. Come on. Here we go. Dan636. Just got back in from flying, trying to take advantage of this warm weather. What did I miss? Some stuff. J. Drone says, do you think 3.5-inch freestyle rig would lift a Session 5 X-Nova 1804s? I know that it will, J. Drones. I've actually done that exact build. Nope, not that exact build. I've done that build with a 4-inch prop rather than a 3.5. I'm sure that it would still pick up, it would still be fine on a 3.5-inch prop. That being said, you want to go with a 4-inch prop, if possible. A 3.5-inch prop loaded down with a Session 5 is going to be rough. It's going to really, like, when you come off the throttle, it's just going to fall out of the fucking sky. You really want to figure out a way to get whatever you're thinking of doing onto a 4-inch prop if you want to lift a Session 5. At that point, you can also go to a 2004 motor. I don't really think, I don't recommend lifting up. So if you have the X Novas already, yes, that'll work. If you're thinking about buying X Novas for this little plan, don't get 2004s. Get a 4-inch prop. That's going to do a way better job picking up that Session 5. But 1804s on a 3.5-inch prop absolutely will do it. Athix says, Demenis was looking at a bot frame. I mentioned Source 1 V3 or V4. You can get more frames and parts for the price. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm a big fan of... I don't know. I find the price increase between the Source 1 frames to the Glide frames well worth it. So yeah, I would actually recommend going with the Glide. But the Source 1 frame it's fine. It works. And it is very, very inexpensive. Bob Noxious says, what's up? Finally able to build a 65mm Roop from 2 separate winnings from your giveaways. Nice, Bob Noxious. I love that. Right 9 says, great example of poor quality video and good content would be the movie Clerks, famous for it. Yeah. I don't like Jay and Silent Bob at all. But, yeah. You're absolutely right, Right 9. Absolutely right. Blizzard FPV says, watching at 430p, let's bring back DVR. Hell yeah. There are so many edits on my channel here. The majority of the finished edits on my channel are actually in DVR. From DVR, I should say. I'm caught up on the chat, and it's 440. What did I name this? BQE RipSqueak flight footage. Cool. We did some things. What else can we do here? What do you guys want to do? What do you guys want to see? Bob Noxious says Blair Witch Project's another good example. Yeah, what do you guys want to see? I can start ripping apart this RipSqueak. to figure out why the hell it's so twitchy. I think I'm going to just try to put a capacitor on it. I think I'm just going to try to add a capacitor to this build and see if that will fix this weird twitchiness that it's got going on. I'm trying to see how the hell I'm going to do that. Where am I going to fit a capacitor in here? That's going to be a project, and this whole situation here is going to kind of piss me off. So I'm not totally against not doing any work on the stream here. I'm certainly not working on that 250 again. That fucking thing is in timeout for a minute. It is still light out. I could put the 1804 rig up in the air real quick. Nah, I don't have any. I do have a battery charged. I could put the 1804 rig up in the air real quick, and we'll see if it's still got jello. Should I do that? You guys want to do that? What else is... I mean, there's like an infinite amount of shit that I could do. I'm just trying to figure something that I can do quickly. Can you guys hear that when I play drums on the desk? I'm sure you can. Alright, you guys want to... I can't stream it, but, oh, you know, I can't even, Oh, yeah, I can just pull the card, and we'll just look at the card. Alright, cool. So, let me grab a couple things here, and I'll give you guys some old flight footage to watch while I go out, and then I'll come back in, and we'll see what's up. Alright. Looks like that's what everybody wants. That's pretty cool. Alright, I'm gonna freeze my balls off. It is cold as shit here today. And I'm not gonna put any extra clothes on. I'm just gonna suffer through. Okay. Come on. Come on. And I think I have an extra battery. I should have the 900. Kevin Sumner says, "Can you set up the monitor for your FPV feed?" Oh God, yeah, I could. I absolutely could. I will do that. Okay. Oh yeah, no, the reception is gonna be dog shit because I'm gonna have to set that here. The antenna is gonna be right here, and it's gonna have to put signal all the way. Well, we'll do it. What the hell? We'll do it. Alright, so we're going to use this 4S 900. I'm probably not going to fly the whole battery. Because that's really not the point here. The point is just to get some footage. Where's that memory card at? Is it still in here? Okay, so let me delete. I'm going to use that memory card that was working a minute ago. Okay. What is this flight footage from here? Oh, that was way long ago. Okay. Yeah, that'll be long enough. 1.31 gigs available. That'll be fine. What's up, Alec Dvornik? How are you, man? How you been? Okay, so we're gonna go in here, and oops, nope, goes in this way. Okay, Let me just heat up the hot glue for a second here so that the memory card doesn't come shooting out. Nah, it's fine. I'm not gonna crash. I'm not gonna fly hard. Famous last words. Do I have a shorter battery strap? I know I do. Where the hell is it? Hold on! Please. God! Damn it. Where is it? Where's that shorter battery strap? Did you guys see it? Where's it at? Fuck it. Let's just steal this one. Put on some beats, yo, right? 9 says, good call. Alright, that's coming up. Let me throw this battery strap on here. And here are some beats. Here are some beats, the man said. Whatever. Volume's probably fine. Wait, hold on. Throw this up real quick. Go bang the shit out of this RipSqueak. All right. Get you guys some video here. I'm on channel 6 on everything. Yesterday. Moving it up to channel 8. Trying to change the goddamn output power, but for some reason it refuses. I think there's a VTX table problem on this rig. Save and exit. That's fine. Oh man, this is gonna really... You guys are not... At 25 milliwatts, this is not gonna... This is not gonna work for you guys. Let me fix this real quick. Hold on. We're gonna fix this. Stand by. This was driving me nuts yesterday too. Hold on. Hold on. Let's hopefully fix this VTX table problem real quick. So I'm gonna plug in, I'm gonna go type in Sheen Nano VTX table. Okay. And then it's a V2. Same VTX table works. Okay, great. So where's the VTX table at? Yeah, there it is. Terrific. Alright. Pretty sure this is the problem. I'm pretty sure that I did not do this. I just used the generic VTX table. Ah, shit. Alright, let's see if that fixed it. I bet you it did. I'm so confident that I'm just gonna put the battery right back on it. Let's see. Hey! Nope. What the hell? Why did it go back to 25? Don't do that. Stay at 200. What? No! What are you doing that for? Don't do that. Ah, fuck. Meanwhile, the goddamn, memory card is filling up. Hold on. Check something real quick. What the shit? Yo, that's really weird. Why the hell is it doing that? Low power disarm. Good call. Good call, good call, good call, good call. So I did fix the problem though, because it was not going to 200 previously. It would just sit there at 25. That's why I was so shocked just now. Like, why the fuck did it go back? All right. All right. Time to fly. I got just enough footage. So what'd that look like? Could you guys see anything? Or did you just lose video pretty quick? Hi, kitten! Look at this little boy. Hi, you little shitbird. It's looking like Harry is gonna go to his mother on Tuesday, so this week, might be a little rough for me, guys. So if there's no stream on Wednesday, if there's no stream on Friday, I apologize. But yeah, I don't know. This is gonna be really rough for me. So we'll see. We'll see. Did it really look good? Wow, that's pretty cool. I would not have thought that. I thought it was gonna be unwatchable for you guys. Let's see if there's Jello. I think that I took off and flew enough to see. So like, Would I be able to like actually fly out there? And would it? Would you guys not lose your mind? Gray 16. 40 seconds. Yeah, we'll be totally fine. 40 seconds. Let's see. Why is it so choppy? It's kind of dark out too. Tell me I didn't take the fucking thing off in time. Please, come on. Oh, there we go. Okay, good. Hey, Jello problem is fixed. Amazing. Amazing. Alright. Fuck yeah, I knew that was the problem. Yeah, as I said before, the problem is that the camera was, the standoffs weren't high enough and the camera was being sandwiched. So did you guys catch that, by the way? Did you guys catch this? Ready? So, I come up in here, and hold on, let me kill the, let me kill epidemic sounds. So, I came up through here, and I wanted it, there were the two trees, I was coming right at them, and I wanted to throw it up through the trees, but I threw it up too high, and I saw that there was a break. You always want to look ahead of you. You look as far ahead as possible, and when I looked, as I was pounding on the throttle, I was looking ahead and I saw the tree branches and I was like, shit, I'm gonna go right into them. So I actually did a half, so I threw it up like this. I did a half, I stabbed the throttle to keep it out of the branches, and then I flipped it back to keep it from hitting the ground. I'm getting better at doing those. See it? Wait, no, you can't see it because you're not on the monitor. So that's what that little sequence is. And you can hear it. You can actually hear it. Hold on. So yeah, there's something you can work on. Because, man, it feels good when you get that. Because there's like there's no more helpless feeling than like you add too much throttle and you just have to watch yourself float towards the thing. Don't. You know, like if when you add throttle like that, you know you're gonna hit, it's gonna take you a while. It took me a long time to like remember this. But yeah, just keep it in your head. And that's on beat to shit propellers too. I crashed the hell out of this at State Farm. Look at these props. And there was no jello. These are pretty mangled. So, and that, like, the ability to fly these things on beat propellers that's kind of where I'm at right now. All of these RipSqueaks on fresh propellers are great, and there's no jello, and the tunes are now locked in, and the rates feel good, and everything is good to go. Now it becomes a game of how do I get these so that they're like kind of freestyle ready, meaning like can have the shit kicked out of them and still produce good quality jello free footage. So yeah, now's when the testing gets fun. Because in order to do that you got to go out and bash the shit out of them. So but this is great. This is great. This is great. Cool. I think that is a good kind of stopping point. We're right at 4:59. We got some shit done. A little bit of flying. Didn't break anything. Actually fixed something. What did we fix? I don't know. We fixed... Just pretend like we fixed something. I'm going to get caught up on the chat, and then I'm going to get some food. I'm actually really hungry. Bob Noxious says, is that a Menace patch? It is. Go-Kart Mozart says, you need an old pair of Ishin box goggles you can put a streaming cam inside of. I don't really have, like, a streaming cam. When I'm going to be doing live streams from the laptop, that'll work with the Ishin. There's things coming. There's some cool things coming. Dan636 says, does that Omni help out at all? For sure. Every time I fly behind myself, the patch just can't do anything. So the Omni comes on online or whatever you want to say. Alex Dvornik says, happy Fun Day Sunday. Sunday Fun Day. Same thing. Robert Garcelon says it's in low power until armed. Yeah, good call, guys. Rob Oxison says, crank that VTX up. Rip looked good. Dan636 with a $5 super chat. He says, for the sick flips. Thank you, brother. Much appreciated, Dan. Demenis says it doesn't look bad at all. Rob Oxison says there's always room for Jello. YouTube just did the thing. Bob Noxious says T-Motor 3.1s are pretty tough, too. Yeah, these T-Motor 3140s are hysterical. They're the most durable micro propeller that we have, for sure. Like unquestionably. Unfortunately, they're M5 mount only, so there aren't many motors that will work, lightweight motors at least, that'll work on these props. Mr. Bill says, I heard you cut your legs off. You okay? I'm alright. I didn't need those legs anyway. They were just heavy. Alright, friends. It's 5:02. I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for hanging out. It's Sunday. Tomorrow night at 10 o'clock Eastern is a giveaway night. And for December, the giveaways are going to be full builds. Tomorrow night, it's going to be the ultimate tinywhoop.com 65mm brushless Tiny Whoop. This is going to be our giveaway prize. Everybody that's on giveaway tiers is going to get entered to win this. Basically, if you're on the $5 a month tier, you're gonna get one entry to win this. If you're on the $10 a month tier, you're gonna get 2 entries to win this. If you're on the $20 a month tier, you're gonna get 4 entries to win this. If you're on the $30 and up tier, you're gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 entries to win this. That's how it's gonna work. And then I'm thinking about lumping the super chat giveaway in with this giveaway, so that if you guys want 1 or 2 more entries, it's $5 or $10 more. Just in case like somebody absolutely can't join my Patreon for some reason. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do for tomorrow night. So yeah, don't miss it. Join the Patreon. CiottiFPV.com has a link to it, or just go to Patreon and search for CiottiFPV. Yeah, this is a pretty rad build. This is on 0802 27,000 kV motors. It makes mega power, and whoever wins this is going to be blown away by how good a Tiny Whoop can actually fly. Some of you guys have seen me fly this. I've been putting batteries through that on the live streams, on the Whoop Wednesday live stream. So if you want to see how that literally flies, you can go back to last week or the week before. Market Zero with the last comment of this live stream. He says, I just started flying indoor acro. What are some slow rates I should start with? Market Zero, go to actual rates. Put your center sensitivity all the way down to either 10 or 20. Take your max rotational rate and put that at like 600, 700 in that range. And then put your expo at like 0.7, let's say. Put your expo at 0.7. Center stick sensitivity, move that down to 20. These are actual rates. And then for your max rotational, try like 600, 700, 800 in that world. Thanks for hanging out, friends. I love you guys. Here comes some flying from this memory card. I hopefully it's good. Let me give you guys a little bit of outro music too. Shouldn't have closed Epidemic Sound. Oh, I know. You guys are gonna like this. This is a really cool micro-only spot. This is a great example of a flying spot that there's no fucking way you could ever fly a 5-inch here but these little RipSqueaks are perfect here and totally safe. Here you guys go. Love ya. Be good. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. 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 There it is. There.